you're talking about somebody like Jim Jones, who was like a raving lunatic by the end, but he loved his people. Like he actually did. And people say, well, if he loved them, that's not possible. How could he do that? Those are people who have never been around like domestic violence before. It's very complicated. You know, you can have husbands who are absolute monsters to their children and their wife, but they still love them. And it's weird. And like they have like an emotion, like a serious emotional crisis if they leave or something, you know, and like it's very complicated. And Jim Jones was that way. And actually, like, you know, having gone through that process of reading about it and understanding it in this way, you know, it remains to be seen if I still think this when I finish all of my reading by the time I get up to the end of the World War II series. But I see a lot of that in the Hitler story. Because, you know, Hitler was like, if people think of him as like a politician, they're missing a big part of what he was about. Like, if anything, he was more like a prophet figure. He saw himself as like almost like not a religious figure in the sense that he was sent by God and anything like that, but that he had this like sacred mission to save the German people. And these were not political questions, you know, whatever. It's why he never compromised, even when it seemed insane not to compromise. Like in 1923, when the French invaded Western Germany to take over a lot of their industrial area, all the parties, right, left, and center, all came together to like oppose that in Germany. And he stayed out of it. He ordered all of his, you know, because he was not going to accept the compromises that were going to come with working with the other groups. And so, you know, you read about like you read some of the reactions that people would have to him. This is just like Jim Jones, where if his shtick works on you, man, like you read some of like Joseph Goebbels, his propaganda minister. You read his diaries of like him describing meeting Hitler and, you know, and going through, and it's like almost homoerotic. He loves him, like truly, and he was not homosexual, but like he loved Adolf Hitler, truly loved him, and that's the effect he had on his followers, like across the board. If his shtick didn't work on you, you were just like, ugh, like how could anybody follow this? This guy's crazy. He's like vulgar. How is this possible? Same thing with Jim Jones. And
well, same thing with all cults.
With all cults. Like if it doesn't work on you, you're revolted by it.
This is what's so fascinating about all cults. In the beginning, they seem great. Like the Jim Jones thing in the beginning, what a great idea. Bring everybody together. We're all family. You know, it's complete equals. Let's all live together in harmony. That's Wild Wild Country, too. In the beginning, it looks great.
Yeah.
My friend Todd, we went out to dinner after the Wild Wild Country came on, and he goes, in the beginning, I was like, I want to join. What can I join? It seems like a way better way to live life.
Duncan was probably already buying his plane ticket to Oregon. Yeah.
It's just, they all turn bad. And they all go the same way. It all goes to like sex and drugs. And I don't understand it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, they all sort of start off pretty fun.
Yep. And they always have hot women too.
Oh, that's a big part of the program.
I don't know how this works or what maybe it's just because the cult leader type, like even if he's crazy, is still like an alpha male type, so he attracts a, you know, stable, good-looking young ladies or something. But it's like, as I was going through reading about all these cults, all of them, there's hot women everywhere.
You have to have them, or you can't get the men to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the cult out here. There's a cult before we bought the Comedy Mothership on 6th Street, which was the old Ritz Theater. We were in contract with this place called the One World Theater. That was owned by the people that were running this cult called the Bodhi Tree. That was the subject of the documentary Holy Hell. I didn't know about that until I was under contract. My friend Adam was like, have you seen the documentary? I'm like, oh no, this fucking documentary. And then you watch the documentary, and that's what it was. It was a guy who was a gay porn star and a hypnotist who starts this cult. And he gets all these yoga people. He's teaching yoga classes, gets all these yoga people to live together. And in the beginning, it looks amazing. It looks like so much fun. Everyone's doing yoga. They're eating healthy food. They got a community together. They live together. They grow food. And then, of course, it goes sideways.